Over the past 10 years, sales of pickup trucks have really exploded, so the Navara has become a common sight on British roads, and you'll no doubt recognise this as the toughest Nissan on sale. It hasn't really changed that much in terms of the way it looks, but under the skin, this third generation is almost all new. So what's the big news? Well, it still does everything you'd expect a pickup truck to do, but away from the building side, it is meant to be a bit more comfortable and easy to live with. It's almost like the Incredible Hulk has got a bit more mature and turns green less often. But can it still beat rivals like the Mitsubishi L200, Toyota Hilux and Volkswagen Amarok into submission? Well, let's find out. This is the most workmanlike Visia trim, and finished in alabaster white on the outside, you could almost call it UN spec, but it's certainly nothing like a military vehicle in here. Okay, there's quite a lot of tough looking black plastic, but it's certainly not offensive, and actually everything has a charming simplicity to it. And that includes the radio, which actually looks a bit old school, but when you start using it, it's pretty functional, and even the Bluetooth connection works well up to motorway speeds. You also get steering wheel controls, cruise control and automatic headlights. But if you want to make the Navara look a lot cooler from the outside and start throwing words around like bells and whistles, then you really need to step up to the Accenta Plus or Techno trims, and this adds lots of luxuries like 18-inch alloy wheels, leather seats, a large touchscreen for the dashboard, and even a bird's eye view 360-degree camera to help you reversing into tight spots. But back to the Visia, and this is the one I can imagine tradespeople driving day in, day out, and the fundamentals are all really good. In fact, Nissan even used some NASA designs to help inspire these front seats, which have proved themselves to be really comfortable over longer trips. And one very important fact that I think all too many reviewers overlook: when you put the front window down, it's the absolute perfect height to put your elbow out of. Now, you can get a smaller king cab, but I'd really recommend this double cab, because actually with an open load bed, it's a lot easier to throw your coat or luggage back here, so it's not sliding around in the back. And for passengers, well, I can't remember a more comfortable pickup truck. I mean, normally it's like sitting on a wooden bench, but these seats are actually really comfortable. Not only that, but you get plenty of knee room and headroom, and even things like these rear air vents and rear electric windows. Now for a pickup truck, that's sheer luxury. Now I won't go into every single measurement, but suffice to say, if you could carry it with the previous Navara, then you certainly still can, with a maximum load weight of just over a tonne and the ability to tow a brake trailer weighing up to 3.5 tonnes. There's also this really innovative C-channel loading system, which has these metal cleats which move back and forth, allowing you to strap down your load exactly where you need it. They're £150 on this Visia truck, but they're free as you go further up the range. Like vans, most pickups use rear leaf spring suspension, which is essentially the technology you'll find on a horse-drawn cart. Why? Well, it's very tough, and it's also able to deal with really heavy loads. But the downside is that it does tend to lead to quite a bouncy ride, especially when unladen, because there's less weight to squash it down and make it work smoothly. But the Navara is one of the first pickup trucks to do away with them. So instead, at the back we now have a 5-link suspension system, and it's a revelation. It's much smoother, and when you hit a bump, instead of that old pogoing feeling that you used to get, it pretty much settles straight away. Handling has benefited too, and while we're never going to say this near 2-ton beast feels anything like a sports car, there's now a lot less slack around the centre of the steering. It's more precise, and the whole car feels better able to corner at high speeds and also change direction quicker. The smaller engine is now a 2.3 litre, either 158 or 187 bhp, and the extra power isn't just courtesy of some lines of code in the ECU. You actually get 2 turbos instead of 1. We're in the lower powered version, and to be honest, I think it feels plenty quick enough, certainly faster than its 0 to 62 time of 12 seconds would suggest, because this car really isn't built for standing starts. Personally, I'd try and go for the automatic over this 6-speed manual, which has quite a long and vague throw, and the gear stick, which can bobble around rather alarmingly sometimes as you're driving. But saying that, it won't be for everyone, because to get the automatic you also have to have the more powerful engine and one of the higher trim levels. The auto also drops the economy from around 44 mpg down to about 40. Although saying that, even in this basic manual, we've been getting around 39 mpg on the trip computer, making it slightly less economical than the Mitsubishi L200 that we had in. The Navara starts from 22,000 including VAT for the King Cab, but because it only gets the more basic suspension and it's less practical, we'd recommend the £24,000 double cab as your best starting point. Now, you can actually spend over 30 grand on a Navara if you go for the auto transmission, the more powerful engine in a top spec, but that is also including VAT, so if you're a business customer like many pickup owners, then you can chop 20% off that. The Navara has built up a great reputation over the years, and this third one is certainly a fantastic piece of kit. It looks tough, it feels tough, and yet it has a softer side, and its ride quality won't make your nodding dog look as though it's an Iron Maiden concert. Its interior wouldn't be out of place in a budget SUV, and while it might not be just quite as frugal as the Mitsubishi L200, a lot of people are likely to be won over by the way it looks, at least in more lavish trim levels than this Vizia, and also the fantastic way it drives. But could you see yourself getting stuff done in the Nissan Navara? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. To inquire about new Nissans, click on the button or visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews like this one, click on the links on screen now.